Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to folks joining us. Here we are on Monday, April 13th. Had to do a quick check there for the day that we are currently in. Appreciate you joining us each day here for the live edition of Up to Speed. We'll get some updates from Hans and Christy. A reminder, if you have any questions, you can always send them to us at live@verizon.com. I'm monitoring those as they come in. So I want to get right to the updates, starting with Hans. Hans, how was your weekend and what's new in your world, sir?
Hey, Jeremy. Hi, all V teamers. I think I had a pretty good weekend. Tried to get some exercise, of course, and seeing that you get energy to go into this week. Continue on the fourth or fifth or seventh week, wherever you are in the world, on this quarantine and this unprecedented situation that we have all around the world. First of all, to all the V teamers, thanks for all the great work you're doing. And our thoughts are with the RV teamers that are infected and are taking the fight. We are supporting them as good as we can. Christy and the team is always there, as you know. Our mission is to keep our employees safe and healthy. That's so important to us, and we continue to innovate. We talked last week a lot about the masks. That is so needed, and that we have upped our game even more to be as cautious as it can be. I think our supply chain team has done a terrific job to get the mask, balancing that also with the need that the healthcare workers need, especially here in the US, to see that they also get their fair share. So I think we're doing that fine, and seeing that we are protecting our employees, but also seeing that the rest of society is actually protected, because it's a wide challenge for all of us in these times. When it comes to the network, continue to keep that up, and I think we have done a great job. There is, of course, here in the US now some ongoing tornadoes, which has made some damages. The network are robust and standing up, but there are also a lot of other things that is happening in the network at the same time. But I have to say, our engineers and the whole network team and IT team is doing a great job. Just one highlight that we have today. I mean, we continue to innovate to keep our employees safe and healthy. We have innovated how we deliver products, but now we also start to innovate how we do the delivery to households. As you know, we are not doing installation in home, but we can do outdoor. Now we have innovated, so we actually have a virtual assistant, so our customers can actually do the installation themselves instead of our technicians going in. And I think that's, again, a continuation of our innovation in this situation, to think about our employees, at the same time thinking about our customers and seeing that they actually are having communication in times of this, when it's of essence for all of us. Secondly, furthermore, I would say we also have had a couple of great social contributions. We had Keep Playing, which was the Yahoo Sports that had this weekend. Great participation, a lot of sports stars talking about how you keep up this during the COVID-19 as a sports person. But we also had on Thursday last week the Play It Forward, which was the best viewed Pay It Forward so far. 4.5 million live streams. So this is just continuing. We have more platforms, and of course we're very proud for our Yahoo team that is doing a great job with their platform. So all in all, we continue the progress. Christy going to talk a little bit how we as a leadership now continue to think about the future, how we roll out and think about next phases of this unprecedented situation across the globe. So by that, Jeremy, I hand it back to you.
Hans, thanks so much. And certainly I know the teams are keeping a close eye on those storms as they roll throughout the Southeast and up the Mid-Atlantic. There's my weatherman impersonation for the day for everybody. So always keep a close eye on those things happening. Now I want to get over to Christy to get some updates from her on this Monday midday. Christy, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much, Jeremy. And great to be talking to the V teamers around the world today. A couple of things I wanted to highlight is really anchored in a lot of questions we get from many of you out there, which is, where are we and how do we go from here, and when do we get back to normal? So I thought I would just share a little bit of a framework for how we're thinking about this as a leadership team of the company. I think we feel like there's 3 phases. The first phase is really responding to the crisis. And that was standing up our emergency operations center, putting in place all of the policies that we needed to be able to manage the COVID-19 cases, getting our employees shifted en masse to work at home wherever possible. And we continue to have those routines every day, multiple time a day check-ins with the various crisis response, business continuity teams that work throughout the day with Joe Russo and myself. We continue that process. But in addition, over the last 2 weeks and now continuing forward, we've really turned our attention to say we're now in a second phase of this crisis response, which is sort of an adjusted state. We've moved 115,000 of our employees to work at home. We've modified our practices for the parts of the company that we can't conduct from home. And so now we're really focused on how do we, in this adjusted state, begin to deliver on our typical business as usual performance metrics, and what are ways we could continue to try proofs of concept and innovation to do our work in ways that could continue to support the customers, keep people connected, drive the business, as well as keep our people safe in the coronavirus crisis. And then there's a third phase, which is when we believe that regions of the world and business environments will return to pre-COVID circumstances. And we're beginning to see parts of the world, in particular China, beginning to try to understand what that looks like and engage in dialogue around reopening parts of their economy and business and communities that have been closed. And so for us, one of the things we want to highlight is that we will be in all three of these phases at any given time for the foreseeable future until, as a world, we have a complete solution for the pandemic. What I want to highlight today for the majority of us, we're really in this adjusted state. And what that means is we're really focusing on partnering with your leaders and all of the employees to find new ways of delivering and driving our business while we have to change our practices. So just some great highlights you've heard over the last week or so with leaders like Tammy and Ronan and Kyle that were with us last week, and previously Krista and Kevin Service and Wendy Chishetta and Guru and Rathi, who have been sharing with us ways in which they're adjusting to continue to drive their business forward. So in the networks, you heard from Hans, the networks are still performing really well, and we found a new way to support our customers. So I'm going to ask the team here to play a video showcasing how our techs are finding new ways of working.
Keeping our customers connected is so important today. We got customers that are working from home, we have kids that are learning remotely, and people just want to stay connected with their friends and family. Due to the dangers of COVID-19, we're attempting to resolve all of our customers' issues from outside of the home or business. So today, this customer reported an issue with their internet and TV service. I send the customer a text message, they hit the link, accept the terms, that's it, we're connected. The customer doesn't need to download an app or anything, it's that quick. Texty utilizes the away-facing camera so that I can see what the customer sees.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like your router is out of service right now.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so your internet is not working right now.
No, I don't have no internet.
It does look like your battery backup is not running.
She showed me her Generation 3 red band router, so I saw none of the lights were on it, so which tells me that the battery backup unit needs to be upgraded. So at this point, we dropped the battery backup unit at the side door, backed away from the door, and allowed her to retrieve it so that we can maintain social distancing.
Yeah, right, that cover. Yeah, you want to pull that towards you. You don't have to pry it out. It slides out towards you.
Customer feedback has been very positive. They're happy to have a real person to talk to help solve their issue. I think this is another way for us to keep our employees safe, our customers safe, and keep everyone connected.
So this is just a great example of how our V-teamers are really pulling together and creating new ways that we can serve our customers with all of the constraints that the COVID-19 virus presents us with. Another example is in our consumer business. We're really working hard on what we're calling touchless retail. So we've got new measures that we've put in place for all of the retail stores that we have operational, which, as a reminder, is a smaller percent of our footprint. But right now we've got appointments only in the stores. And then once people enter the store, we've got social distancing markers in the store where we request the customer to stand versus where our employees are present. We have obviously the face covering program that we implemented last week for both our employees as well as the requirements for customers. We also redistributed furniture in the stores to provide greater distance, reducing some of the inventory for browsing. And so taking a lot of measures to do a different retail experience. In addition, we've got pre-visit prep, we've got the app, and we've got some mobile checkout processes. And so these are additional ways in which we're innovating that these two major job experiences that we have for both our retail store employees and our techs that really cannot be done from home. In addition, the retail employees, as we shared last week, the ones that aren't working in the stores have been reassigned through surveys and other ways across teams to be able to contribute, and they're getting trained in still working on customer support, selling by telephone and by app, and we're really beginning to see the metrics in our consumer business and our network performance hit where we want. And then finally, you heard from Tammy on Thursday the many, many ways in which VBG is continuing to partner with their customers, whether it's large enterprise, medium and small businesses, or governments around the world in this crisis to help them stay connected, help them serve their customers, and some really just great success stories there. So Jeremy, back to you. That's how we're beginning to really optimize phase 2 for Verizon worldwide.
Good to know that, Christy, and amazing to see the work that our teams are doing out there to keep customers connected when they need it most. This question just came in, and Hans, I'm going to send this one over to you. It's from Mark, who's out of Pennsylvania. Wants to know, hearing all the things that we're doing well, what could we be doing better, either as the company, or as individuals?
That's a good question, and I think you all the time try to evaluate that you do things better and better. But I also said when I communicated with the leaders last week that there are no real playbook for this. This is a crisis we have never seen in mankind when it comes to the health issues and the virus. So of course you constantly need to be creative, and I think what we see in the company right now is we're creative. And I think that two things for me is important. First of all, the leaders, they need to be creative how we work, especially now when it comes to safety and health for the frontline, but also for the leaders that have a lot of employees working from home, to see that you're creative, include them in this work and how we bring this company forward. And then secondly, for all of us employees, we also need to take our responsibility and move forward and have a dialogue with our colleagues and our managers. So it's a two-way street more than ever. So it's hard to say that something we can do better or not. It's a situation we have never had before. I think that I'm extremely proud how we show up as a company, both externally but also internally, as colleagues and respectful and supporting each other for doing what is so critical in this time. So, but we constantly, as Christy said, we constantly challenge ourselves what we do next. How are we ahead of the curve all the time? How do we take safety measures that's ahead of anybody telling us? And I think we've been doing that, and we will continue to do so. But whatever feedback you have from the field, from all of the employees, just bring it in. Christy and the team has an enormous capability and capacity to bring that in and see that we take the right decisions.
Yeah, Christy, anything you want to add to that?
Thanks. I think that's a great point. We've had over 2,000 employees ask questions on the Ask Christy box, and we really appreciate that because it helps us make sure we're getting the information to you where you need it. One of the things, Jeremy, that a lot of people are asking, and I think we see a lot of this in the news right now too, which is when is an employee okay to come back to work? And we do, as I mentioned, have a number of our jobs that are not being done from home. So we still have, approximately 20,000 V-teamers that are not working from home. So we did just finalize our guidance on this, and we've put that up on our COVID webpage. But I just wanted to highlight for the V-teamers that are not working from home, we've taken an abundance of caution and a very conservative position. We want people healing from the coronavirus before they could attempt to return to work. We have the nursing team outreaching to them, and we have a lot of support that we're putting around any of them. But if an individual is ready to return to work, they have to meet 3 criteria for us. The first is that they have had no fever for 72 hours. The second is that they have no other coronavirus symptoms present, such as a dry cough or shortness of breath or nausea, etc. And finally, we want to make sure 21 days have passed since they first started to have symptoms of coronavirus or from when they had a positive coronavirus test, whichever of those is later. So we want all of our V-teamers to know it's really important. Your safety and health is important. We've got resources to help you, and we don't want anybody rushing back to work until they're ready. So just wanted to get that out there. And then the other thing I would add on to one of Hans's comments, this is a very stressful time for so many people. And so we also have available on the COVID webpage, you can sign up for a 10-minute mindfulness workshop with our employee assistance program. And it's now available in 6 languages. It was very popular. Last week is the first time we did it. Signups are open for this week. They're Tuesday through Friday, and they're 10 minutes each, and they're available in Italian, Spanish, English, French, Portuguese, and Mandarin. And give us your feedback, and we'll continue to augment on programs like that. Thanks, Jeremy. Back to you.
Christy, more good information there from you and Hans. Thanks for the answer. Now, we've talked a little bit today about retail. We've talked about our techs in the field. We also have a tremendous amount of folks who have been working at home, supporting our consumers and our business government customers as well. I want to share the story today of Sylvia Bernhardt, who works out of the West Valley City, Utah location. She's a naturally social person, so she's been figuring out ways to make that work while all still working from home. Have a look.
My name is Sylvia Bernhardt, and I am located in Salt Lake City. So I work at the Salt Lake City call center. I am visually impaired and totally blind, and I use a Braille display, and I also use the JAWS speech software. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm hearing the customer in one ear and JAWS in the other. A lot of it's memorization, knowing what keys to hit and, shortcuts to read certain links or, buttons on the pages. I came to Verizon in August of 2019, and I felt like I was finally getting somewhere. And then all of a sudden the coronavirus stuff hit, and I seriously thought, that my job was going to be terminated, and it was a really difficult time for me. I literally didn't think that working at home was even going to be an option. I thought, there's no way that working from home is going to work out. But no, Verizon, they called me up and said, okay, we're coming over. We're going to set you up to work from home, and we're going to get you up and going. They just have been so amazingly accommodating with all of this. I liked what they said when I gave them my concerns about working from home and how I didn't feel like I could be efficient. They said, well, we would never put you in a position where you are not feeling supported. And that meant a lot. I'm currently home and got all set up, and I have been taking calls. It's definitely been my goal to literally crush this job. I will definitely be excited to return back to the workplace because I am that social butterfly. But, this works for now, and I'm just so grateful to Verizon for sticking with me and believing in me and knowing that I can do it. And more than any other company I've worked for, it's just been absolutely amazing and a pleasure to be a part of their company.
Sylvia, thanks for everything you're doing day in and day out, as well as your colleagues around the world to make those customers feel delighted when they're reaching out to us day in and day out. So had a couple other questions come in. Hans, I want to give this one to you, and then you can wrap us up for the day. I know we've got our first or the annual meeting coming up soon. Someone's wanting to know if that will be the first virtual annual meeting in Verizon history.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, this will be the first virtual meeting, shareholder meeting for safety reasons, for shareholders and for management. We have decided not to have a physical meeting. We're going to keep it virtual. That should not change anything. Shareholders should be able to vote on the different type of suggestions there are. I will make some short introduction as I usually do, and then we will have a virtual meeting. So that's going to be new for us. Usually we have that as a physical meeting, but this year it's going to be a virtual one. And I think that many companies are doing the same. And I think from safety reasons, it's absolutely right. And in some places where we have, for example, planned to have our virtual or annual meeting, there's not allowed to have big gatherings neither. So it wasn't even allowed. So just summing up, we're coming into a new week, and it's always important when they come into a new week. Listen to what we heard from Christy and the interviews with the employees here. We continue to innovate. We continue to make this work different, and we are so important to our customers. And for the ones in the field, safe and healthy. Remember that. Follow all the protocols that we're coming out with. It's so important. For the ones working from home, I already addressed it. If you're leaders, you continue to create an environment that everyone feels to be part of. Seeing that, reach out to all your direct reports, so we know that they're good and healthy, and that they have work tasks, because it's important this time that you have something to do. And if you're an employee, if you don't hear something, you need to call and ask your manager what they're doing, and seeing that you talk to your colleagues as well, and continue driving the company forward. As Christy said, business as usual is extremely important for us, even though sometimes it can be hard to see that this will end one day. It will. We just need to continue to see that these companies staying in the forefront and then coming out even stronger out of this. And I have all the confidence that we will do that, and that's why we just need to drive this. And I think it's good to remind yourself of that when you have a new week that you start, to remember that, and all your colleagues. So that's it for me today. Jeremy.
Thank you, Hans. I appreciate that. And my time to say thanks to everybody as well, and hopefully you're staying connected with folks. I want to shout out, this week is National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. So part of the line of first responders that we have out there, the men and women who are answering those 911 calls, thanks to them and everything they're doing to help first responders and community as a whole. And you talk about kind of grounding yourself and well-being. Over the weekend, Hans mentioned the Yahoo Sports We Keep Playing event. I want to end today with a good conversation that Guru had with the former Secretary of State, Condoleezza Rice, about how she's doing that at this time, because she's an athlete at heart, and how she's making these adjustments to keep on going. We'll be back with you again tomorrow at noon. Here's the video to end the day. Have a good one.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Guru Gaurapan. Such a privilege and honor to be here with former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, and now Professor Stanford, for joining us to have an important conversation around We Keep Playing.
Thank you. I love being here, and thanks for having me.
Great. The first question, Secretary Rice, is why did you want to be a voice in this conversation today, and why do you think it's an important conversation to have?
Well, I really do think we need to keep playing. Even if we can't be on the fields and the rinks, we can keep playing in important ways. I love playing sports. I have great respect for athletes who train at the highest levels, particularly intercollegiate athletes. And there's one other really important reason, and she's called Billie Jean King. She's really been my friend and my heroine for a long time.
What advice would you give to the young athletes who have now found their lives upended when you think about during this crisis time? What are you doing personally to cope up with this difficult time as well?
You have to keep perspective about those for whom this is a much bigger crisis than for any of us. Most of us are fortunate to be healthy and to have friends and family. So keeping that perspective is important. And then most importantly, I have a schedule. I don't allow myself to sort of just drift through the day. I did that the first couple of days and it didn't feel very good. And so I get up and I work out and then I work, and later on in the day, I practice the piano. I'm a golfer and I actually go out in my backyard and I chip and putt. Then I go for another walk and I try to be with friends on video at the end of the day. And so I think actually those of us who've been competitive athletes know how to keep a schedule. And that certainly helps in circumstances like this.
You talked about golf briefly, and you're an avid player, of course, you love it. So talk us through how that's going to evolve during this time frame.
I would have been at the Masters this weekend, and so it's a little bit sensitive. I think we're all feeling the absence of it. But the thing about golf is it's actually a sport that requires a lot of patience, and I'm learning patience from it and discipline. And while I'm not able to play it right now, I do something else that I think might help all athletes. I try to visualize. When I was a skater, I spent a lot of time just before I was going to compete, just sitting and visualizing myself doing the moves perfectly. I think that's actually a good way to quote unquote practice right now when we can't be out on the practice field.
So you've been an amazing trailblazer in many different arenas, being the first or one of the first women in the US to be given certain opportunities. What was the most meaningful or memorable first for you?
I remember one experience in particular when I was sworn in as the first African American Secretary of State. I was sworn in under a portrait of Benjamin Franklin, and I was sworn in by a Jewish woman Supreme Court Justice, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I remember thinking, I wonder what old Ben Franklin would think about this. And I think he might have even liked it. So for me, the first that we all experience, it's great to think about it personally, but it's more important to think about how far we've come as a country and to keep pushing those first so that we can keep progressing.
Thank you so much for sharing amazing insights.